Hopefully they're working okay. I don't even know if I'm on Bluetooth or not. I meant to take them off and then I have them on. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I'm very curious to see if they're working. So get somebody to come on and tell me they can hear the sound or not, and then I'll fix this. So my name is Todd Standing. Thank you for joining my live show today. I am the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with their eyewitness of Sasquatch. And I'll wait for some people to get on because, yeah, I'd like to do a little announcement, get everybody on board for what today's topic is going to be about, and go from there. um, it's fall. Fall is an excellent time. Hey, Paul. Paul's on very quickly. So, how well can you hear me, Paul? Since you're on so fast, I'm assuming you can hear me very well. Or Eddie. Hello, Todd. Eddie from Indiana. What drives you to continue this research despite the scientific community's skepticism and potential public ridicule? Loud and clear. Okay, that's good enough. Perfect. Excellent. I don't know if it's these things or not. Well, let's first. That's a freaking excellent question. Um, the way I explain it is I'm a man walking around explaining to people that the Earth is round, and they're trying to tell me it's flat. Hopefully, you're not flat earthers. Oh my goodness, the flat Earth thing. My goodness, the sun rotates around the planet. People, like my God, those pictures of the Earth are legit. Satellites are rotating around the planet. Like you can call somebody every hour. I've traveled around the world every hour. The sun is rotating. Like you can't do that if it's flat. So please, but my point is, let's say even if you are a flat earther, I can't talk about anything without getting a certain level of disrespect and ridicule. But let's say the Earth is truly round. Let's just say that for argument's sake, to not have an argument, and people are assuming it's flat. I feel like I'm walking around trying to be delicate with people, saying Sasquatch is real. They go, no, 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 the Earth is not round. And I showed them all this evidence. It's beyond a reasonable doubt. Like it's so spectacular. The video footage, the I take people out, the DNA, the dermal ridges, like the layers of evidence. And they doubt and they're skeptical, and you get people like Joe Rogan who are just outright hateful and swearing and angry about the evidence that I present. Clearly fake. Clearly you're a fraud. And it just doesn't bother me. You know, it doesn't. It just people. I don't know. What's the difference between the way debating liberals and conservatism, vaxxers and anti-vaxxers? Like there's there's a debate that goes on with people, and we try to move forward respectfully. I don't try. I move forward respectfully, and I don't know. It's important that we listen and we have discussions, and that's what Charlie Kirk, man, I don't know how you could debate the fact that he was out there talking to people. He was inviting people of different perspectives to have discussions with them. And he would have a microphone and he would put the darn thing down and he would listen to these people and he would talk to them. And love him or hate him, he was, you know, one thing he talked about a lot is what scared him and what should scare anybody is if we stop talking and we just hate on each other and we don't have debates, we don't and open debates where we really have good discussions, then bad things can happen, civil wars can happen. And with us in the context of Sasquatch, it's not just a primate species we're discovering, guys. They're brilliant, amazing, highly spiritual beings that can teach us so much. We have so much to learn from them. The change I've made in me is, in the beginning I wanted to protect them, and I wanted to help them. And then as I grew and learned about these beings, they don't need any freaking help from me. They don't need any protection from me. I don't do species protection anymore. You can't hunt them because they're so advanced. They're telepathic. They know when you're coming. Like, how do you hunt something that knows you're out there, knows your intent is to harm them? you know so but on the other side of the coin, the other perspective is that they're so brilliant, they're so manlike, and they have so much to teach us because they're truly free beings. We are not free anymore, and I don't know how anybody could argue that. If you are not wild, you are not free. We are freaking domesticated. Look at this place I live in, like this room with heating, and it's domesticated. I drive around a truck. I'm talking to you through technology. These are points of domestication. And when you become domesticated, you lose your wildness. I have a shirt on. I shaved my head. I don't know. I wear glasses. I'm domesticated. They are wild. They live under the laws of nature, which only the strong survive. And it's a harsh world, but it's a brilliant, amazing world. And as much as they are the most man-like species on the planet, they're the opposite of humanity in that they're wild, and there are massive benefits to being wild. I think you're more spiritually connected. I think you're more in tune with the frequency of the earth. There's beautiful gifts that they have that they can share with us. And so this discovery is so important to me that I push forward, and I'm very passionate about it, and it really matters to me. So because I want to uncover the truth. And that's what I tell my expeditioners, first timers that are coming out, and they're taking me up on my challenge. Don't take my word for it. Come out with me and I'll show you a Sasquatch. And they take me up on that challenge, and then I take them out into the wilderness, and I ask them not to worry about the reality of Bigfoot or not, but to focus on discovering the truth. If you come out here on expedition with me and your focus is the truth, no matter what it is, you'll find it, you'll discover it. And then people have sightings, and people have incredible success. And um, you know that way you can remove all the skepticism. Is the Jane footage real? Did Jake really happen? Is Kubota legit? Did Jeff Meldrum really see a Sasquatch? All that goes away, and just come out here and focus on the truth. And so I am focused on the truth. I think that is the journey. And I want to talk about, we've got lots of people on here now. And I wanted to dedicate this show to Jeff Meldrum. I'm very upset about his passing, him passing on. It came very abruptly. Now the amazing Jane Goodall has passed, and I got to have some interactions with her. She had seen my footage, and what happened with Jane Goodall is she was very enthusiastic about the discovery of Sasquatch, but we knew she didn't have much time left. Jane Goodall was quite elderly, and she lived a really long, healthy, amazing life. But her handlers, I guess, the people around her, made it very clear to me that she's got goals. It was roots and shoots, and having the community and humanity, and working with chimpanzees. Like, she had incredible, powerful, amazing goals, and she was the golden goose of chimpanzee, research of that area of primatology. And she had so much to do and a limited amount of time to do it, that they didn't want her going off and talking about Bigfoot and doing Bigfoot stuff, and she wasn't going to go into the field anymore. And they taught me a lot about how she'd actually given up field work to focus on working with people and educating the best way she could help the chimpanzees in nature, and even humanity, which she loved, was to not be in the field anymore, was to be out there with people and setting an example, and having these programs portrayed, and getting people involved in nature, and these programs that she had designed, the Roots and Shoots programs. So, and I totally understood that. So she didn't do anything Sasquatch. She stayed focused on her purpose, and you know, uh, with Jane Goodall, I didn't, she was somebody I was a fan of hers. I was a supporter of her work. I currently give to the Roots and Shoots program. With Jeff Meldrum, though, I tried to make it not personal, and it just freaking was. Like, I just, I'll tell you this, because this is hard for me, because I wanted to. I said I wouldn't do this, but he was so great. He did so many good things for Sasquatch that whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing this anyway. I didn't talk to him enough in the last years, because I wanted to show him something great. I didn't want to just show him more damn tree breaks and structures and some cool tracks. I wanted something amazing to happen. Like, even my dream was like an incredible piece of Sasquatch footage, like the Patterson footage, and I wanted to have him come out and investigate that and be a part of it. And I just didn't. He was always excited to talk to me, and he wanted to talk to me more, and I wasn't in communication with him enough. Even I did a very poor job of communicating with him because I wanted to call him up and say, Jeff, I got this thing and it's amazing, and let's get out there and let's do this, right? Him and Survivor Man, and other people too. But I really wanted him out there, on the ground from the new major thing that had transpired, and he was waiting for me to do that, and I've been working hard to make that happen, and I just didn't. So there's so many questions that I didn't get answered with him, and so many things I wanted to talk to him about, but I put all that on the back burner because I just wanted to win. I wanted a big win. I wanted something that was going to blow him away specifically, and I just didn't get it. And he was always there, what's going on, Todd? And how are things, Todd? And hey, I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to catch up. And I know he'd like to hear any bit of success that we were garnering. But because I'll tell you guys, that amazing man. So there was a time when I was really frustrated, probably a decade ago or so. Like, I'd made Discovering Bigfoot. It was a great movie. Nobody wanted it. Nobody would distribute it. Everybody was treating me like crap. Said the movie was garbage and nobody would ever watch it, which was incorrect. When it was Netflix finally got it, and it was the number one documentary in the history of any network of all time. So it was the number one documentary. The biggest network at that time in 2018 was Netflix, and in 2018 it was the biggest documentary that ever played on any network. So screw all them. But anyways, I was upset that I wasn't getting any success, and I didn't get paid for it or financially remunerated for it whatsoever. Like, a TV show gets about, good TV show gets about $400,000 an episode. I thought, well, it's a 2 hour show, a 2 hour movie. Maybe I could get $800,000 for it. Put that back into research. That, of course, I didn't even get paid back for what we put into that movie, myself and C4, the investor that helped me with it. But anyways, when I was frustrated during this time, it was him. It was a few people I won't name. So I'd quit Bigfoot for like probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I just quit and I went off and did other things, and I didn't want to go back. He had like one of those, what's that called, where people, I just had the name on my tip of my tongue and I forgot it. Where people, like, when you're an alcoholic and people come around and try to get you out of it. Anyways, him and John and some other people called me up, said, make a time, we want to talk to you. And then I did. And then they gave me crap for not doing Bigfoot research and told me I had a responsibility to get out there and be boots on the ground. And I had no idea. And it was John and Jeff, and again, other people I can't mention that are anonymous right now. But these great men that were like father figures to me, and a manner of speaking, like my idols. Like, maybe not idols, not a great word, but I was a student of theirs. They were my teachers, and they told me I had a responsibility to get my ass out there and get some stuff done. So then John Benedict passed away, and I had not gotten tremendous new breakthroughs and success. And now Jeff Meldrum's passed away, and that's Discovering Bigfoot, guys. It's Todd Standing, but that's two of the people, two of the three stars of that movie are gone, and it's very disturbing to me. Um, because we're not replacing these men. They're gone, and who's taking their mantle? Who took up John Benedict's mantle? Nobody. You know, I have aspirations to go on and get a potentially get a PhD and stuff. I may or may not do. I don't know, but I don't know. Like, I know John had many people he wanted to bring up and take on his cause after that just fell through and stuff. And I do the best I can, but that's frustrating to me that these incredible human beings, Jane Goodall now, and then Jeff Meldrum, John Bennernagel, are gone, and this new generation just not taking up the struggle, and it's very frustrating me. Sorry, I got a little emotional. I tried not to do that, but um, yeah, it's Jeff and I. I remember I was at the Sasquatch Summit last. That was the last place that we went and did a guest speaking appearance together, and we were getting a little personal. I was telling about my family, he was telling me about his family, and then he just stopped and he said, "You know what? We have lots of. I have lots of friends. I have lots of colleagues. He has so many friends and such a big family." And he said, "I don't want to be friends, and Let's not be friends. Let's not be personal. Let's just keep it because he's like theoretical and I'm boots on the ground, and we both needed each other. And but that didn't happen. It was personal. Is my point. I thought, well, I'm just going to be colleagues with this guy. We'll just keep it at a distance. But everything is personal with me, isn't it? I don't know. Like when you come on an expedition with me, it's going to be personal. I'm gonna I'm gonna open up to you in personal ways and be very transparent because that's what the discovery of this discovery is about. It's about, so telepathy is transparency. And Sabe in the Blackfoot language, which is my favorite representation of Sasquatch in terminology, Sabe represents honesty and integrity and truthfulness and transparency. And it blew me away when I read that because that's what the species is. So I have to be that way with my expeditioners. I have to be that way with Jeff Meldrum and John Beninigo and the people in my life. It has to be personal like that. I don't have a freaking choice, and I kind of like it like that. So I was passionate about Jeff Meldrum's success. I was passionate about that great man and the things he did. And he tried to hide it. He's a Boy Scout, leader. Like he gave back to his community. His family loved him. I mean, the guy was a treasure, you know. And they don't make people like that anymore. I'm not like that. Like I'm just not like that. Like they're different. They came from. I don't know what's happening for people like that. Even Jane Goodall. It's just like this new generation. Am I just old? Am I wrong? I don't know. But say hello. People were saying hello, hello back. Blazing Silver is a little missing boy. What? Missing from Sasquatch area? Oh my goodness. Is the little missing boy missing from the Sasquatch area? Oh, I don't know anything about that, Blaze. Bigfoot and lights flying after seeing them. Are you ever seen my have you ever seen this? My dad said he saw something. Survivor Man thinks there's a correlation between orbs and Sasquatch, and that seems to be the case. I've seen other evidence of it as well. Not personally though. How would you describe Jane Goodall's legacy, especially? So I talked about that. Thanks, Paul. Great question. Todd, mini site out here in Madison County, Washington. I freaking love Washington, Ron. Just love it. So part 2 is supposed to be coming out right away. Hello from Manitoba. I was just in Winnipeg for a couple days. Hello, Todd. Love you, Todd. First saw you on Gaia. Oh, thanks, Janelle. And Gaia was good exposure, right? Rest in peace, Jane Goodall. Yep. Rest in peace. Absolutely. I hope she passes on. What? See, even in the following along, I don't want to say in the footsteps of, but following along in the path, Jane Goodall just cared so freaking much about people and chimpanzees and this beautiful planet and all the life here. That's pertaining to the first question I answered. That's why I don't have any trouble persevering and navigating the disrespect and the ignorance and the hatred that gets propagated towards me, because there's a way bigger picture. And look at all you people here. Uh, Gaia with George was on fire. Thank you. Yeah, it was really good exposure. Um, and and yeah, I don't want to get political and talk too much about Charlie Kirk, but because yeah, it's kind of political and stuff, and I try not to bring those kind of politics into the discovery of Sasquatch as much as I can avoid it. But um, yeah, it's so I I I have, man, I get up early. I stay up late working towards this discovery process because I know it'll make the world a better place. So much so. It's so important, this discovery process. I'm so freaking passionate about it. It matters to me so much. It's my life now. And what a great life it is. There's a picture of I love that photo. Look, that's there's a Sasquatch there, but that's me, my son, and my daughter in the winter hiking Johnson Canyon. It's not very Bigfoot stuff. It's Bigfoot. There's some Bigfoot stuff over there, and a bit of mess from paperwork, income tax stuff. But hey, listen, look at this. John B says, and they can protect us. They can. They can teach so much. You know, uh, teach us ways to be better, better human beings, better beings. Let's not even say humans. Better life forms. the Sasquatch can teach us that. So, anyways, I'm dedicating the show to Jeff Meldrum. I'm not gonna. Hopefully, I won't get too much emotion because it's been a hard couple weeks. Really kicked the crap out of me when he had passed away, and so just if you have any questions about Jeff Meldrum, I'd love to answer it. Can see the chat. Steve, yes. Hello, Todd. Love your work. Thank you, Jeff. So apologies for getting emotional. I'm a very passionate guy, and I may look like I may be a bearded kind of mountain man, outdoorsy dude, but I have powerful feelings too, and I can't deny how I felt about Jeff Meldrum. So there it is. Good to see you again, Todd. Thank you, Tim. Hello, Julie. Hello, Tim. Roy gives a thumbs up. Tom says, "Hello, Todd. What are your thoughts on Bigfoot being big on it being hidden Bigfoot village all over the world?" I don't understand what that means. Hello, Todd. What are your thoughts on it being hidden Bigfoot villages all over the world? What you mean? I think what you mean is, yeah, little there's spots where Bigfoot exists. Oh, gosh, like Russia, Australia, China. I heard Africa from John Benedigo, all over North America. So yeah, that's absolutely going to be the case. They're breeding populations all over the world. Absolutely. So how do I feel about it? My thoughts on, or sorry, I like that when he says my thoughts, not my feelings. My thoughts are, yeah, absolutely there are. So breeding populations all over the world. When's the last time you saw one, Todd? I haven't followed you for about a year. Oh gosh. Oh, seen them. We've had a couple sightings this year. So I didn't see one in the last expedition. And then before that, I remember David Wolf. We did not see a Sasquatch. And then the ladies expeditions, lots of live interactions. Other people have had sightings this year. I've had uh, one sighting this year, I guess. Not a not a lot. They've been around a lot. One and a good like a really good sighting. I had one this year. I haven't really even taken stock. Sorry, there's also a lot going on in my life. Like so much stuff that I do all the time. I get a little, and I'm not on much sleep right now, so brain's not working amazing. So apologies for that. Will Carr says, "How do you feel about the commercialization of Sasquatch? Does it hinder or help your work?" Commercializing, I don't mind. It's part of pop culture. I think it's great, actually. I don't know. I don't mind. In fact, so I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna have a snowmobile touring company and call it Sasquatch Snowmobile Tours. Commercialize it a little bit myself. And then I was thinking, damn, I could actually do like Sasquatch habitat tours with expeditioners. I have a lot to think about. So the bottom line is I bought snowmobiles. I love winter. I love snowboarding. I want to do a little bit of a business where I tour people on snowmobiles just a couple days a week. I've so much to do already, but I want to have another kind of a fun job, and I want to have some snowmobiles. So, anyways, I started on that business, so that'll be something I do, and then who knows what that'll even I was thinking, damn, what if I had people come out, even my expeditioners. I have so many expeditioners that I love working with all these people where we did like we could do Nordeg. We do a huge tour around Nordeg looking for tracks and animal tracks. I think it'd be super fun. And then even maybe in Calgary, go to the Tyrrell Museum, look at the history of these beautiful plants. Tyrrell Museum, it's the Royal Tyrrell Museum. It's one absolutely fantastic place. And then even just go for a Johnson Canyon, Emerald Lake, or something beautiful around Banff. I could just go guide people to do that too. So, especially like I was saying, it's become so personal that one of my expeditioners, well, his wife doesn't want to come out, children want to come out. Well, they'll go snowmobiling tour, maybe they'll go for a walk in Johnson Canyon. It allows me to build these relationships up a little more and have a little more fun and still do something in the winter with all the people that I have the opportunity to work with. So, and that's a done deal. I have the snowmobiling business. I bought the equipment and I'm doing it. So just as like a little part-time thing for fun. So, and I think snowmobiling is a little easier. I'm a snowboarding instructor. I can't really snowboarding instruction is a lot, and people learn slowly. You just hop on a snowmobile and follow me around on trails, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. And you're getting out into nature still. I know they're gas powered and they're loud, but you're still rolling hills. I'm not going to do mountain snowmobiling, but yeah, that's a simple thing to do. So uh, that's so I'm commercializing Sasquatch, I guess, a little bit myself. I don't know if I'm going to call it Sasquatch Snowmobile Tours. I think I'd maybe want to, but we'll see how it goes. Royal Wolf says, I'd love to do a summer trip out there, see you and do an expedition. Well, discoveringbigfoot.org and then go to the expeditions page and apply. We spoke on the phone for about an hour once. Oh, hello, Darren. I apologies, Darren. You have no idea how many people I speak to. Like this year, I probably did hmm, nearly 100 interviews with people to get 8 expeditioners to come out, and then even the 8 people that I chose. So I do 33 people a year come out on the expeditions with me and to Nia Bay. So 10 expeditions, 10 weeks here in the Radium area, and then 1 week or so in Nia Bay, where it's like my home away from home. I just love going there every year for the rest of my life, and so will my children be going there for the rest of my of their. There'll be a standing going to Nia Bay every year as long as there's a standing alive, which will hopefully be for many many generations to come. But yeah, I talk to a lot of people, and um, yeah, it's a lot, and I cannot keep track anymore. My brain, I'm not like that smart, where I could just remember thousands of people that I've talked about. 100 people this year, 100 people last year, hundreds of people. So, but often I can get cued by just say, "Hey, we talked about this," and that's cool. So, someone called Miss Stan. Hey, Todd, my mom's a big fan. Hope you're doing well. Oh, we're doing well. Super sad about the passing of that great man, Jeff, Doctor Jeff Meldrum. But yeah, if you have questions about him, I'd love to answer. Talked a little bit about him today. Hey, David, you were the buck. Hey, David, I don't know what that means. Bruce says, I thought it I thought it was awfully strange how Aussies call the Bigfoots in the land Yowie. It sounds like a little piggy. I don't know, but the indigenous people call them that. There's actually another name for the Yowie too in Australia. So that's what one of the things that made me heavily start to think that the Yowie existed is because the indigenous people talk about it. Stephen says, was collected kindling for a fire and grabbed one there. Really? Thought it was a tree. Ooh, that's cool. This is Steve Evangelist talking lots. It chuckled. Okay, very interesting. Hello, Ema. I'm saying hi back, unless you're some kind of troll. Looks like you're in a half top or something. Stephen says it was dark. Um, Jennifer Collins says hi. Hello, Jennifer. Darren Idle says, what the heck ever happened to your second documentary? It's coming out in November. It's not up to me. It's being distributed. So, man, like Discovering Bigfoot, wow, was that ever freaking distributed? Like when uh, the what's going on with my audio? That was weird. When the distributor got a hold of it, Warner Brothers, I guess, Warner Brothers B movie. Man, it's on Tubi now. Like they just hammered that thing. Like it started pay per view, then it went iTunes and Apple Movies and Netflix and Amazon. And wow, like so this will be the same. So rest in peace, Jeff Meldrum. Thank you for that. Hi Todd, you ever heard of NW Native Tracker? No, but I don't get around much. You have a big heart, Todd. Thank you. Oh, is this where I started to get upset? Probably. Sorry about that. Little boy in Alberta that went missing in Crow's Nest, Alberta. Do you know this area to be a Sasquatch area? I know the Crow's Nest area. There could be Sasquatch there. I know a guy that was like a humble fisherman that did some fishing in that area in beautiful creeks, and he said there was Sasquatch there. So I haven't been there. So where's Discovering Bigfoot? So Discovering Bigfoot Part Two is going to be a series of 6 different. So Discovering Bigfoot Part Two, the movie turned into a 6-part television series, which was more than enough uh, footage to be able to go do that. So Jeff Meldrum's a true legend. Thank you, Donnie. Good way to put it. He was a freaking legend, right? So Alma says he believed in you. You could you could see how excited he was in the video. You're a success already. Thank you very much. I was so happy to have enriched his life Well, I never even thought about that because I was the one that showed him a Sasquatch in his lifetime. And man, I would have liked to have shown him many more times, so much more. I was always confused about why he didn't come back out with me a lot more, and it was probably a lot to do with health reasons. And there was something going on, you know. Maybe he was even stretching himself out too thin. I don't want to make excuses. And I never asked him that question. I always was perplexed why he didn't come out after and do more with me because I'd have just kept winning with him. Like I'd never stop. So yeah, what like yeah, awesome. The freaking guy was like a damn saint. Like he was just like didn't swear. Uh, you really had to piss him off. You had to be a real ass and really piss him off to get even any kind of a response out of him. And I just so admired that about him. So, because he was so passionate about that Patterson footage because it's so legit and it's so real, and he was such a he didn't like him and John didn't like to be proponents of Sasquatch. Don't call them a proponent, and that's not righteous, because it was the evidence, the truth of the evidence that that led them to knowing the species existed, and they knew it. They completely knew it, and they'd even put on a brave face and go talk in the scientific community and present real logical evidence and try not to come off like a proponent because scientists would take them less serious, and it's just the evidence is so freaking overwhelming. And the more you look into it, the more you realize, like, damn, they're real, so Anthony says, can you give my recycle box back, please? My cat likes sitting in it. Okay. Strange things. Intervention. That's what it was. Thank you. I don't know why I keep forgetting that term. Yeah, it was many years ago when I sort of quit doing Sasquatch. There was an intervention with several colleagues of mine that all know about each other, and they all took turns ripping me. Like literally, Jeff just said, "Listen, this is what I want to say," and he went through these things to even show me. How can I put this? I don't want to sound arrogant, but they're real lessons that I've learned. They're real gifts that I have that God gave me to go do this. I have a responsibility to do these things. I can speak well in public, and yet I can go out and do nature, and I could be quiet and alone and solitary for significant amounts of time. So I'm one of these unusual human beings that has these abilities to, like, I can talk in front of a crowd. I'm well educated. I'm very passionate about my subject. I'm tough. I'm physically strong enough to go out there and grind and kick some ass. And I love nature. And again, my native teacher would talk about this, and I know Jeff would agree with this. He would concur that you know it comes from a love of nature and a love of human beings and a love of my society, a love of civilization and a love of wilderness. Those two opposites that can bring it together, and I have that, like, passionately. Like I do love my truck. I do love technology. I do love living in a nice house and having a comfortable bed to sleep on. And yet I love to go sleep on the sphagnum moss outside in the wilderness and hear the serenity of the trees and the wind and the elements that are out there. I freaking love it. Like I treasure them both immensely, and I can do them both very well. And that was their intervention message: is you have to get back to it, because especially what was given to me too, the footage that was given to me, that the Sasquatch allowed me to get, the people I got to learn lessons from. And after the passing of John and other colleagues and friend, my native teacher. So my native teacher passed away first. He was very elderly. Then John Bitternagel, now Jeff Mel, and others that just quietly passed on that don't need to be publicly mentioned. All these great men have taught me so many lessons, and I am now obligated to move forward and teach these lessons to the next generation. That's the cycle, right? And I had that obligation, and I didn't realize that those men were that they felt that way, you know. And I was, they put themselves in that position, literally. Like, I don't know if it was Jeff or John, which one of them said this, but it was definitely one of those two. Like, I was like, so hey, what's going on in the field of Bigfoot? And I think it was John, said, nothing's going on. I go, what do you mean? Nothing's changed. You're not out there doing your work. And we're just sitting here waiting in the nothing. Like, who's out there getting this done in the field, working on this the way you do, the way you have a responsibility to do? And that's also why I feel so upset that I didn't get another thing to do with Jeff. Because, I, I just wanted more. And he was such an incredible asset to get some incredible piece of evidence. I don't want to say footage or DNA. I don't know what exactly it would be, but to get, when you're out there and you're banging away at this and you're pushing and all these things are going on in Sasquatch habitat and you're having all this success, something just pops and I can't write a script for it and I can't tell you what's going to be. It just, whatever it is going to be. But let's say it's this incredible piece of footage I get with tracks on the ground and a Sasquatch busts a tree and runs in a certain way up a hill. He can come out there and analyze that and give me his incredible genius perspectives. I mean, the man was, I don't even want to call him a genius. You know why? Because he worked for everything he had. Why was he so intellectual? Why was he so brilliant? Because he read books and he studied and he read, and just every day he was reading and studying and learning and figuring things out and bringing all this brilliance to this discovery process. I mean, how could you debate the guy? He just knew his mid-tarsal joints and his anatomy and his all his anthropological understanding and the ecological behavior of the species is just amazing. And the frames of the Patterson footage that he just had analyzed and reworked and showed it to people over and over. And it's absolutely brilliant. Just totally brilliant what he did. So so people don't know about the intervention. I never talked about that before with him and a few other people. And it really put me back. I had quit and I was being very stubborn. It's not publicly known. I had an incident that was not involving Sasquatch that traumatized me in the wilderness. It was just a crappy incident that I was very traumatized by. And I just quit and I was just sick of it. Why am I busting my ass? Why am I risking my life? Why am I almost dying for this discovery process when I can't even sell my freaking documentary that's like nothing in the world has ever seen before. It's an original, one of a kind. Um, so I was frustrated, so I left, and yeah, they got me to come back. I don't know if I ever would have come back. So I owe it the fact that I do this now, and I found a way to be a full-time Sasquatch researcher through your support, which I'm very grateful for. Um, yeah, we get tremendous success, and the discovery moves forward, and now I will never stop being a Sasquatch researcher, full-time Sasquatch researcher. That's my life. That's my job. I do nothing but research Sasquatch. Jeff did that for the end years of his life, and many other people I've seen mention people, that pass and that, the last years of their life were devoted to the discovery of Sasquatch. So he's still watching over you, Todd. Oh, crap. Don't make me upset again. Blessings upon you. Thank you, Royal. And now he knows, right? That's wonderful. Yeah, good way to look at it. He is watching over us, and he was a very godly man, and I really appreciate that, especially in these times. I'm very spiritual, not so much religious, possibly, but very, very spiritual human being. And yeah, I I'll just know that. I want to say I'd like to think he is, but of course he is. And actually, when I did, he'd passed away, and then I had to go do an expedition, and it was like a backcountry cool expedition, and I thought about him a lot. Obviously, I thought about him an immense amount. It was a big motivating factor. I was hoping again to come back and say, hey, we did this expedition, and just after Jeff passed, and look at what we discovered, and look at this incredible find. And yeah, it just didn't work out that way. Don't let them drive you like Solitaire drove Mozart into the ground. Well, that'll never happen. I love what I do. I have amazing friends. I have incredible children, and yeah, it's a spectacular life. If you want if you want information on the expeditions, just go to discoveringbigfoot.org. That's my website. Go to the expeditions page. Everything's there. Watch the video. All your questions about expeditions will get answered there for the most part, anyways. Gary says, Todd, you're the most credible guy out there. I wish you well, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. If there's a most credible guy competition, I do not want to go participate in that. But I appreciate your kind words. I don't like it when people say you're the best or you're the one. I don't like that. There's no who's the best Bigfoot researcher competition, and I never like that, and I'd like people to avoid saying that. I don't want you going to other researchers and saying, "Whoa, you're Todd Standing is the best." What competition did he win? I didn't, and in fact, I think the number one reason that bothers me is that term indicates a competition. Well, he's better because of this or because of that, and I'm not. So I'm different. I do things differently. Maybe I'm not even different. Maybe there's a lot of people that are like me, or maybe I'm like a lot of different people. But I want to cooperate. Anybody who sits down, like I can't tell you how many times, dozens of times I've had people come back, like West German, I think is his name, from Sasquatch Chronicles. I hope I'm getting that correct. Great interviewer, and he's had some bumps in his Sasquatch career that look pretty significant. And apparently he was slagging me pretty hard. I didn't know about it. People were telling me that. It's all good, whatever. And he comes back and he apologizes and does a show with me, and all's forgiven. When you want to work and you want to move towards this discovery process, cool. I love to forgive, and there's lots of things I can forgive. And I didn't even know he was being disrespectful, but it was his perspective, and he changed it. And the point is, I just love to cooperate with people, and if people want to cooperate with me, I'm all open to it. Because a lot of things I can forgive. Some things I won't. Sometimes people do dumb stuff, and I just don't. If I'm not going to be forgiving of a person, it's just because they did stuff that's so stupid and petty. Like that should have been below you, and that's happened where I just don't want to work with people anymore because I just don't even I just don't like you, or I just don't get along with you, and I don't. You're you're not a good fit for what I want to do. So just go on your own way. No disrespect, but for the most part, I love working with people. I love helping people. I love putting this knowledge out there. I love this discovery process. Mostly, it's hard. I want more evidence. I want more success. So, do the Sasquatch store food in the winter? I've seen them do. I've seen them. Randy Brisson showed me this, where when the salmon were spawning, the the Sasquatch would take the salmon and put it in the permafrost and wrap it in sphagnum moss and freeze it. How awesome is that? So I'm sure there's stuff that they can do. But like berries, they just eat the berries. They just smash. I can't imagine them like storing and picking so many berries. Like by the time you're eating the berries, you get so little, just enough calories in your belly. And bears and other wild beings, they just smash berries. They just eat them like holy. So I don't think they would store that. Are they more active in the fall? No, fall seems to be like a Mardi Gras time because a lot of the berries are ripe in September, October, so they seem to get really big, and the food is very abundant. The animals are very big, and there's just it's the best time of year. Everything's fattening up. So, yeah, the fall seems absolutely more active is the way I would put it. Actually, I have to change a single word you said. Yeah, better activity in the fall. I feel. Gary says, I believe the people who have the most look with interactions, maybe he meant luck with interactions with a Sasquatch, of those who don't take a camera and picture of the heart. Thanks for all you do. I actually know what you're saying. It's choppily, and I write choppy so I can read choppy. But that's, yeah, people that don't take a camera seem to get more success. People that are more pure of heart absolutely get more success. And yeah, so I agree with what you're saying. It's kind of like a statement, and I concur with your statement. So, Rogue Wolf, that's a cool name. How's the current expedition interactions going, Todd? It's been a spectacular year. Very happy. So, uh, yeah, things just very well. Except the passing of Jeff Meldrum is an absolute. Yeah, you know what? It was he did. We didn't have enough time with him. Like we should have got more time with him, and it sucks. It does. That pisses me off. I wanted more time with him. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, I wasn't done with Jeff Meldrum, and damn, like what the hell are we gonna do without him? I don't know. I really say that, like, honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I don't, who do I have? Like a PhD, anthropologist, anatomy. What just happened with my earbuds? Oh crap. Something bad just happened. Playing music in my earbuds. That's not good. Oh, I don't know how to turn it off. Hopefully you guys can hear me right now. For some reason my freaking earbuds just turned on. Anyways, oh god, and there's so much questions here. My goodness. We could hear you. Can so Alma, can you still hear me? Like, I had these earbuds and they're playing freaking music and I didn't do anything. My phone has so many damn viruses on it that yeah, it sucks. I'll do a few more minutes. So, are there any big? Look at all these questions popping up. Okay, hold on, hold. Are there any Bigfoots by Jacksonville, Florida? Oh my god, I have no idea. I don't know spot by spot. So, acid bath LSD. Oh my god, that's quite a name. I've heard tree knocks when camping, but never knew what they were till the 2000s. Yeah, and that's what Sasquatch do. So absolutely. I'm just gonna move these earbuds. I can still hear them in the distance. Um, Alma says monkey leave. I don't even know what that means. Oh, somebody's being disrespectful. So-called scientists have repeated Jack and Jill so often they will not allow Jane or Jake presentation. That's funny. Somebody's being skeptical, and I guess their message are being deleted, so it's all good. Let's see what the questions. Have you seen the alpha male recently, Todd Seeger? Actually, huh. Well, I obviously haven't seen him. I'm not even convinced he's been around at all this year. Not definitively. Um, thoughts on the ask me thoughts on the Robert Patterson footage. Roger Patterson, not Robert. It's absolutely authentic, 100%, totally 100% legit, 100.0% legit footage. Impossible to have faked. Completely and utterly, infinitely impossible to have faked. Hey Todd, have you ever had anything, ever hear anything about Sasquatch in southeastern Manitoba, particularly? No, you can't ask me questions about specific locations. I just can't even keep track. There was a native guy, who was telling me stuff about Sasquatch in Manitoba, but his location and stuff, it's very, I just don't keep track of that stuff. Todd, how many clans are you aware of or in contact with today? Oh gosh, like under a dozen. Um, Montana, Radium, Nordegg, Nia Bay, New York. Had contact with them. Didn't get any success in Texas. No success in Florida. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like six. Oh, yeah, six. The sixth would be Maple Ridge area. Had excellent contact with those Sasquatch. So maybe around six. There's probably a couple I forgot, but six-ish sound. Todd, is Bigfoot in Florida? I don't know. I don't know. I went down to Florida. There's a skunk ape guy, and I was gonna meet him and hang out with him, and he was gonna give me a tour and stuff, and he just snubbed me, and deceptively so. He was supposed to. He said he was sick, and then someone else was like got a tour with him, and then I went back. I said, "Hey, are you not sick anymore?" And then he went pretended he was sick again. He just given somebody a tour, so he blew me off very disrespectfully. So that doesn't bode well for me, and there's no second chances on that. Thoughts always pervert something. Okay, Royal Creations, the Sasquatch in Florida called skunk ape. I don't like that term at all. There must be a native term. Skunk ape sucks. I don't. Yeah, I thoroughly dislike that term. I think it's very disrespectful. What else have we got here? Just a few more questions, guys. Would Yeti also be a name for a Sasquatch? 100%. The Yeti are the Chinese version of a Sasquatch, the way we have black bears here and they have black bears there, and they look very different, but they're obviously a subspecies of one another. Royal Creations, my son and I very recently heard multiple tree knocks in Roscommon at the Perry Colonial Cemetery specifically. Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations, if they are indeed Sasquatch. What part of Florida Bigfoot? I don't know. When I was down there, I didn't see any signs of Bigfoot. Talk to anybody that had any Bigfoot sightings. I wanted to do a bunch of stuff in Florida, but there was a national park and a wildlife officer that had an incident with the Sasquatch I wanted to go work with, but didn't work. Just a couple more questions, guys. Lost in the Woods says hi. It's about spirituality, Julie says. It's about spirituality. I'm just thinking like how powerful a statement that is. Like primarily it is about spirituality. Like the mental, the emotional, the physical, spirituality is number one. Spirituality is telepathy. Spirituality is transparency. Spirituality is that somebody mentioned it earlier, having that beautiful heart and caring and being passionate about it. That's all, or is that emotional? It feels very spiritual, and I that is a missing ingredient that without, at the very least, I would say, without the spirituality, you have no chance of success. Jane Goodall taught me that 100%. She was so passionately spiritual about the discovery and the, not the discovery of, but the progression moving forward in the knowledge of chimpanzees. So spiritual about it. So I yeah, I'll always remember that about her. She really, Jane Goodall, man, she just taught me like to be fearless in your knowing. Just be fearless. Like she would talk about chimpanzees. She would say something about chimpanzees. If you were stiff and you were not pliable and you had your thing about you that you were just stubborn, she just blew you. She'd blow you right out of the water. You know, I saw live one of her showings that she did, and she comes out. She does this chimpanzee call. It was outstanding. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. Here's this little blonde, this little white-haired lady, just making this powerful chimpanzee sound, and people got up and left the room. And after she did the chimpanzee sound, she waited a minute. It's like she just cleared out all those stiff, stick up their ass people, because she looked a little crazy when she did it, because she was like full on like she just went right into it. And after a minute of silence and some people left, she's like, "Good morning. That was the morning call of the blah blah yada yada chimpanzee. Welcome to my seminar." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna do a seminar like that." Was just so so much intestinal fortitude, right? Can you imagine me going, "Hey," doing some crazy Sasquatch call like I've seen people do. I don't know, just wouldn't. It's not my style, and I not currently, anyways. And man, I just had so much respect for that. Uh, yeah, another amazing lady that just freaking broke the mold. Broke the mold. Absolutely, no other way to express how amazing she was for humanity. When are you coming to Knoxville? I have no plans to do that. Who are you and what do you do? I am Todd Standing. I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher. That is my thing. I have the movie Discovering Bigfoot. I was in Survivor Man Bigfoot. I have YouTube channels and TikTok. And man, my when I do just a little cheesy 1 minute little TikTok Instagram thing on, and it goes TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, man, it's getting freaking views. So cool stuff. I'm gonna keep doing that. Lost in the Woods with Koi says, "What makes you so passionate about finding Bigfoot?" Because it's gonna change the world for the better. Like it is, it's so important. The most man-like species on the planet is out there thriving right now, and they are unknown to us. And because the reason they are unknown is because they are so absolutely exceptional. We have so much to learn from these incredibly free wild beings. And I want to be less domesticated. I want to be more of a free being. And nobody knows about freedom. No human being alive understands freedom the way Sasquatch do. And you question me, what do you mean by that? Well, they have no possessions. They're beholden to no one. They go where they want, when they want. They eat what they want. They pay no taxes. And we all die. You know, they literally love nature. They love the rules of nature. They love the wildness of nature, and we are freaking domesticated and civilized so dramatically that we couldn't even go back. If I took off all my clothes, I couldn't walk around naked and survive in the wilderness with no tools. I cannot do that. They thrive naked with no tools, no fire, no technology, and they love it. And can you imagine what we'd have to learn from a being that was free? Because if you don't think you're beholden and you lose your freedom when you have to wear shoes, when you have to wear pants, when you need to go in your truck, when you have to all these things to survive. You better get water. That tap better keep pumping water out. Somebody better take my garbage. Otherwise, things are going to get real bad around here. We're part of a community, but that's not freedom, guys. You know, you pay your taxes and you listen and you follow the rules, and they don't have to do any of that. They're free to do whatever the hell they want. And I couldn't even imagine how free it would be to just get up in the morning. I know they do this because I've seen it many times where I wake up in the morning out on an expedition in the middle of nowhere. There's a Sasquatch there. He rolls up from under the tree he slept under and he's ready to go. Just rolls out, good to go. Doesn't comb his hair, doesn't brush his teeth, doesn't put his glasses on, doesn't have a snack. He doesn't have any of that stuff. He just slept under a tree, naked, and he's covered. He's got everything he needs. He doesn't need a gun, doesn't need a stick, he doesn't need a rock. If he picks up a rock and he wants to do something, go bash an elk over the head, need it, he can. He drops a rock after. I can't imagine the freedom of that. I have to clean my glasses. If my glasses get dirty, I can't see very well. I have to put on my shoes. I can't run through the wilderness if I don't have my proper shoes on. I need to put my coat on or I'll get cold, and I put long pants on because my legs get scratched up. I mean, it just never stops, right? So I better have gas for my vehicle, otherwise I can't go nowhere. You know what I mean? So they're the ultimate free being, and I would encourage you to try to not be so reliant upon your technology. Try to be a little more free in your life. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying. Just think about it. So I am a full-time researcher. If you'd like to make a donation, you can do so on my website, and you can watch my videos. I also have the Patreon following, which I have a whole bunch of footage to release to them. My apologies for being behind on that, but it'll come. You'll get it. So last question, Matthew H. Isn't it more likely that rather than animals, if they exist, more like the fair folk, jinn, trolls, etc., they take forms that will interact best? No, they're just Sasquatch. There's no. It's really, Matthew. Let me tell you something. It's very clear to me. The more I learn about them, the more I understand how easy it is for them to evade us. It's really not difficult at all. And how many people see Sasquatch every year? What, 10,000, 100,000? I don't know. Maybe a million? Not a million. If 100,000 people see Sasquatch every year, it amounts to nothing. People don't believe you. They just won't accept it. There's freaking footage. There's DNA. There's the evidence is way beyond a reasonable doubt. If you have any respect for a court of law, when someone is convicted beyond a reasonable doubt, you go, yeah, they did it. We have 1,000 times over beyond a reasonable doubt. 100,000 witnesses would show up and say, I've seen a Sasquatch. They're real. Never mind the DNA, the photographs that I have, the Patterson footage, the dermals and the tracks, the anatomy that we know. And it goes on and on and on and on. It's tremendously overwhelming, the evidence that we have. So I am exhausted, and I'm going to end the show and ask you all to go drink clean water, try to eat very organic, healthy food, and get some exercise, please. Take good care of yourself. I speak to you as a human being who does all those things. I drink very thoroughly cleaned, filtered water. Um, I eat organic food as much as I can, probably 80% organic, free range, grass fed meats, that sort of thing. And I get exercise on a very, very regular basis, even when I'm not on expedition. I have weights, I do training, I do running, I play football and go bike riding with my children. Get exercise, stay healthy, take care of your physical. Otherwise, your mental and your emotional and your spiritual suffer. So do all that. It makes the world a better place. Uh, and and I do care, and it does matter to me. People, I don't care. I don't care. I care. I care that you drink clean water and eat good food and get exercise and take care of yourself and give back to your community. I don't know. This is important. This is me giving back to my community in one of the many ways that I do. And I really appreciate y'all listening in and partaking in this conversation. And I would ask that you do what you can to give back to your community. Give, for God's sake, in the words of JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, for your community, for your land, for your people. If we just thought that way, the world would be such a better place. And it helps the discovery of Sasquatch move forward, acting in those ways. So that stuff means a lot to me. It has everything to do with Sasquatch researcher, 1,000,000%. I hope you understand that. So y'all take good care of yourself, please, because it matters to me significantly. And I'm sure there are people around you that it matters to significantly as well. So take very good care of yourself. The odds of me doing a live show next week are good. I will endeavor to do a live show next week. If there is a live show next week, it will be me in the wilderness. I will be in the wilderness next week. So I will endeavor to an excellent live show for all of you. And maybe I'll have something to say. I'll certainly be in the wilderness if it does transpire. And if it doesn't, keep your fingers crossed that I didn't do a live show because it was something so exceptional going on with Sasquatch, which is a bad excuse. If there's something amazing going on with Sasquatch, and I'm within Wi-Fi of my Starlink that's way out in the bush, you definitely want to have a live show then, don't you? So I'll consider it. In the meantime, y'all take very good care of yourselves, and bye for now.